And welcome everybody. I will do a little tarot reading here in English. I will talk about the reading. I will also give you some insight into how I read the cards. At the same time, it can be a reading that is resonating with you. I'm gonna start doing this here more regularly, that I just go into a reading. People can, of course, take something with them if it resonates, but it's also in a way educational. So I will also talk about the meaning of the cards. I will talk about a little bit how I read the cards, and I will give you a little more insight in how I am interpreting the cards as well. So yeah, wow, there is already stuff flying out. I kind of want to use this and start our little Celtic cross that I am doing here. We have two major arcana cards already. We have a death card, which is a very, very intense card that is in the center of the reading. And we do have the Aeon card, which is coming out in the reverse. I don't do reversals normally, so this is somewhat special for this deck. I don't do reversals, so this is already a special way cards want to come out. We do have two major arcana already coming out. We are doing a Celtic cross, so this is already a strong start into the reading. We do have a death card. We do have an Aeon card. The death card is about deep transformation, and it's here in the center of the reading. This is the key card. This is the card we're concentrating on the most. And the death card is also a card of Scorpio. So Scorpio might be the sign, or it might be a sign that is resonating a lot with this reading. And we also have with the Aeon card Aquarius. So I would normally go and talk about Aquarius and Scorpio a little more, and I would also suggest to people that this is a reading that will most definitely resonate more with Scorpio placements and with Aquarius placements, because this is very strong. They wanted to fall out in the very beginning of the reading, and they wanted to just be present, these cards. We are with the positions here. We are in this transition of what we are coming out of and where we are at now. So what we are coming out of is maybe a very, very strong and specific decision that we made, or that was made for us, in a sense that we felt a calling, that if we felt a calling from a higher source. Maybe this is also the Aeon card, that we felt like it's time for this new age type of energy, which is the Aeon, and this new way of really experiencing life. This is not the last card, but one card before the very end of the major arcana journey. So we are here at the finishing line, more or less, when it comes to really jumping into this new sense of identity, new sense of self. And it often has to do, the Aeon card, with a sense of divine intervention, or a door that we see opening, or a calling that we can sense or feel from a higher source that is really opening a door for us, leading us into the right direction. The right direction now requires us to really go deeper and transform on a deeper level. And that's what the death card is talking about. The death card is a card that is mostly about deep transformation. It is not about somebody dying necessarily, but it can, of course, be parts of our self, parts of our psyche, parts of our soul, parts of our personality dying, in a sense that we are leaving behind the things that we don't need anymore, that don't serve us anymore, and that really hold us back. So that would be the death card here. And we are really talking about deep transformation here in this reading with the death card in the center. Let's see what else wants to come out. So as I said, we have strong Scorpio and strong Aquarius placement indication here. And we do have two major arcana, which are the trumps in the tarot, and the strongest cards of all the tarot cards. So it's a very intense reading. We do have in the subconscious, oh, that's nice, a Prince of Cups. That's interesting, huh? Well, we are also in somewhat Scorpio territory with the Prince of Cups. He's also talking about water signs, and he is the romantic prince, or the emotional, the sentimental prince, the artsy, musical, maybe even therapeutic type of character that knows how to bring forward his ideas, that he really draws from his emotions. He draws his inspiration from his emotions and knows how to move forward with those ideas that he is kind of getting out of sensing inside and sensing his emotions. So he is a very analytical prince at the same time. The princes are always, in a sense, analytical because they bring the air element to the court cards. And he is really looking, if you look at this card close up, he is looking at this cup, and he is, which is a symbol for his emotions and his inner world. And he's really analyzing his emotions, and he's really looking deeper into what's going on there in this cup. So if you look very, very close, there is also a snake in this cup that is a symbol for transformation, of course. So yeah, we are having a double confirmation here with the transformation topic, which is the Scorpio card, the Death card, and here another Scorpio card, the Prince of Cups. Crossing energy, or an energy that is even emphasizing our center of the reading here, is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is called Dominion. It's a fire card. It's an active card. It's a motivational card. It's a card that is called Dominion, as I said, and it is a card that really talks about gaining control over the moment. I like to call it a card where we learn how to act in the moment and to do the thing that needs to be done in the moment. So it's a card of kind of getting your dopamine going. You know, you do something, you get the reward. You do something, you get more energy by doing something, by acting. And that is the Two of Wands here. It's also a card that speaks of Mars in Aries, so it's very much about action, very much about forward movement, very much about getting into motion also. So Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac circle, and Mars, of course, is an aggressive, forward-moving, active, and archetypal male energy. And when those two come together, then this is really the moment to act. This is really a card of ultimate action and gaining control over the moment. So now, even though we are in this deep transformational state, we learn how to again do the things in the moment that need to be done so we can move forward, so we can really fight for our vision as well. And why do I say that? Because Mars is the fighting planet here that we have in this Two of Wands card, and Aries is about our vision. Aries is very much about our personal vision. So yeah, that's also happening. All right, higher consciousness. Let's move on here. Oof. Okay, we have another Aries indication. So we are, I suppose, not done, and that's how I would, take this sign if I'm doing a reading. When a card wants to flip out, and I just talked a bunch about Aries, so this is a confirmation, obviously, talking more about Aries because the Emperor card came out, and the Emperor card is all about Aries. You can even see how there is two ram heads in the corners, in the top corners of the card. So he is really very much connected to the energy of Aries, and he is all about control. He is all about having control over a situation, having the authority over a situation, taking control over your own life, over your situation, over your every day, or the things that need to be done. He's also the guy who takes care of stuff. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. He's like the boss, He's like, of course, an authority, a political authority as well. But also when it comes to our personal life, it's our personal authority that we have over ourselves, over our lives, over our everyday tasks. And he's really in control over those tasks. And I think this is kind of the topic here, that transformation that we really want to invite in our life, and that decision that we made to gain more control again over our lives. Let's see. This is an extra card that came out for this Celtic Cross. It's not on a particular position, and we are now asking for a card for higher consciousness, higher awareness, what we might see as our ideal that we want to move towards, or that our higher self is already understanding. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. So if so much stuff comes out in a reading where I have a time limit, I normally just, ask for less cards. I take into account what I see, but I don't really go into details about all the cards, but I try to take the energy of all the cards that I saw with me and then kind of bring it into the interpretation of this next card that I'm pulling. But this is just too much information to read, it's just a lot. All right, so, oh, that's nice. The 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's focus, focus, focus. So gaining that control over the moment, gaining more control over our lives, gaining more ownership, more authority over what's actually happening and what we want to happen and what we want to make happen. That requires focus, and that requires discipline, and that requires also with the 8 of Pentacles, I like to say, doing the things that need to be done, not necessarily just doing everything all the time. It's like it's a focused type of work. It's a type of mastery, and it's a type of work where we do the things that are necessary, and we don't necessarily do all the things because we just need to work. So this is a very focused and a very, very specific mindset of mastery. So we really want to master something. We don't want to just do things for the sake of doing. We want to do things for the sake of having very specific results. And therefore, with the 8 of Pentacles, we want to practice prudence would be the word, the actual title of this card. So we want to make sure that we really pay attention to the details, really do the things that are necessary, and not just do things for the sake of doing things. I like to say also with this card, it's a card of perfect practice, which means it's not practice that makes perfect, it's perfect practice that makes progress, if you know what I mean. Everybody who is a musician, everybody who is an artist maybe, or who is trying to master a skill knows it's not about so much all the time. It's not about the hours we put in, even though a lot of people say that. But it's more about practice the right way to have the results. Sometimes you can study or practice something for hours and hours and hours, and you just don't have the right technique to gain the results you want to have. And that's kind of here also the cards. You're trying to master something. It's not so much about just learning something. It's about mastering something. All right, so focus. Yes, focus. And there we do have the wonderful 6 of Pentacles. I love it, that we are working ourselves into. This could really be about some creative outlet also that you want to master, or that you want to just make more prominent in your life. Because with this Prince of Cups here in the subconscious, we do have this notion that this could be about some creative work, and that deep down you really feel like you want to say something, you want to express something, you want to bring something out. With the Six of Pentacles, we have a card of success. It's literally called success. So you can be very, very successful in this deeper transformation and this deeper way of making things happen. I think there's really a change, a deeper change in how you approach things, in your approach in general, to gain results here and to gain successful results, and also to gain a feeling or an understanding of how to balance out how I want to put things into a situation and also gain out of a situation. So it's an equal give and take. It's like the feeling of, okay, I put all this work in and then I have those results and that feels successful. But therefore I need to do the right thing, and I need to do it in a focused and in a very disciplined way, which would be the Eight of Pentacles here. So yeah, I do really like this picture of recreating balance again, because the sixes are always about balance as well. So we are trying to recreate some sort of balance here with this work that we are doing, serious work. All right, so how do we see ourselves in this situation? Oh wow, we do have a lot of we're very tuned in to the synchronicities, the signs that we are getting, that we are on the right path. It already feels like we are divinely guided in a way, and we are receiving all the signs. We have our spiritual antennas out and we are receptive. The High Priestess. Beautiful. So we can really tune intuitively into this net of creation that we are part of, and we can take our place in this web of creation. So it's very beautiful. And the High Priestess, of course, she's a very spiritual personality. She's a seer, and she sees on a deeper level. She's clairvoyant in a sense that she has her eyes closed for seeing. So she is sensing on a deeper level, on of course very transcendental level, on where to go and how to move, or if she should even move, because she's sitting, actually she's really drawing in things, but at the same time she is always in the right spot at the right time, and she's very much sensing in which direction she's called to next. It's really like also hearing a calling again. It's not so much moving into a direction, it's accepting where we are taken. And that's very, very good energy, of course, for being creative and for creating something that you want to accomplish. She knows she's at the right place at the right time, which is also beautiful. So also we have Pisces here. The major arcana that are coming out here is Pisces, Aries, Aquarius, and Scorpio. So that's the most prominent ones that we have here. All right, so let's see the outside influences, which would be the next position. Or how we are reacting also to the outside world. Maybe to also relationships in our environment, people in our environment. All right. We do have, that's interesting, we do have an influence from the outside that is kind of a heavy energy here with the Five of Cups. That is a card of the heavier emotions. It's called disappointment, but it can also just mean emotions that are uncomfortable, that we have to work through, that we have to kind of endure, that we have to learn how to process. Or to experience, and that are somewhat uncomfortable. We might even be working with some sort of collective pain from the outside. We might be sensing some pain from the outside. We might be sensing some collective pain, especially if we want to do creative work, you know, and we have the High Priestess here, the way we see ourselves. We might really do some really important transformatory work here that is serving the greater good, in a sense of we're maybe assisting people to heal or assisting people to be able to tap into their emotions, even though it's uncomfortable. We might be guiding them even, we might be inspiring them to go a little deeper with the Death card here as well. That's beautiful, actually. So if you're doing something artistic, and I get very shivery sensations on my body, which is for me confirmation. If you're doing artistic work, you could now be assisting people or helping people through your own creations or through your own expressions to tap into their more uncomfortable feelings, to endure those feelings. You might inspire people to feel the more disappointing and more difficult feelings so they can let them go. Because we all know, I mean, we need to, or unfortunately we don't all know, but we should all open up to the idea that letting those uncomfortable feelings happen more and learning how to process them can be very, very freeing and can assist us and help us in letting go and moving forward. And moving forward in a more free manner and not in a pattern that keeps us stuck in some pain. And I feel like we are right now here in this reading assisting people to actually look at those uncomfortable things. And that's some important work here. It could also be a very different way of reading those cards. Could also be that your success might trigger people and make them feel bad about themselves, you know, but what can you do? I mean, I don't even want to talk about that, but it could be, you know, it could be that your success or your way of balancing out things, of evening out things, of gaining results, and balance in your creations and manifestations might show people their own inadequacies or their own shortcomings, and therefore they might feel disappointed in themselves or uncomfortable. But that's just a very different way of reading those cards, approaching those cards. So let's see what is hidden, or what we are maybe afraid of, what we don't want to see, what we don't want to happen, what we don't want to acknowledge. This blind spot here of our fears and hopes. Oh, that's so interesting. Well. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's often a fear of, you know, letting the universe take the wheel, or letting Jesus take the wheel, or whatever you want to believe in. It's a fear of letting go, I think, and letting things happen. That, of course, when we are in this Emperor energy, we kind of want to make things happen. We want to have control. We want to have the authority over our lives. We want to feel like we are not completely just powerless. We want to step into our power and make things happen. I think the one thing should not contradict the other, you know. It could, both things can very well happen at the same time. We kind of only can control so much. Of course, we want to take responsibility for our actions and for our life, and this is really what the Emperor is talking about. It's not so much about controlling things, it's about what is my responsibility in this situation and what can I do? In how much power do I actually have and what can I do? And that's already enough, you know, to think about, because we cannot control everything. We don't even have the time, energy, resources We can only do so much, but what is that so much that we can do? What specifically is that? And I say specifically because with the Eight of Pentacles, it is really about this specific thing that we are supposed to do to have progress. And at some point, the rest you can't control. And that is like this tiny little magical actually field that we want to leave open, because we don't want to know everything. We don't want to know every outcome. That is a little bit of my sometimes critique, or I sometimes feel like this whole manifesting trend, which is great, and I'm super into the whole manifesting idea, but I also am into the idea of experimenting and leaving things open to the surprise element, because life gets really, if I know everything that I can have and I have a full picture in front of me and that's exactly how it happens, I mean, that's kind of boring, let's be honest. I want to be a little surprised. And if that's part of my picture, to be surprised as well, positively, of course, ideally, then sure, then that's my picture that I want to manifest. But this Wheel of Fortune is talking about that element of not necessarily surprise, but of luck. Element of luck. You have to be a little lucky. You have to be trusting also that you have help from the outside, that things are still gonna go your way, even if you cannot take on everything, but you do your part. You do your part, and that's the Emperor. All right, so what's the key card, which is the last one? Oh, wow, beautiful. 10 of Pentacles. Amazing. That is an amazing ending to this reading. That is an amazing key card, because it's really saying like, yes, you can really make everything you want happen. You can have it all. You can have the full picture. You can finish the project. You can finish the life goal. You can finish the life design. You can buy the house. You can move in to this new home. You can create the, I don't even know, painting. You can be part of the exhibition. You can make your own exhibition happen. It's right in front of you. It's right here. It's the result, the end result. The 10 of Pentacles is the end result that we are manifesting, that we are really making happen. It can be a project. It can be relationship that looks exactly the way that you want it to look like, that you built, you've built this. It can be a creative project that you want to finish up. It can be the feeling of just completing anything. But it's a very, very earthy card, and it's a card that therefore really shows you the results. It can also be manifesting money, it can be like, oh, I wanted to manifest this money, I wanted to have exactly that amount of money, and now it's right there. It can be, of course, very much about money as well, but it doesn't have to be. It's something materialistic, or anything that is manifesting in the material, that is a goal that you set for yourself, and that is a picture that you painted for yourself, that you now are able to really finish up and to complete and to bring into reality. So beautiful. This is the jackpot. This is really making things happen for real, for real. For real, for real. All right, on the bottom of the deck, I do also read the bottom of the deck card in general, just as a little overall energy, and it is the 8 of Wands. And I love the 8 of Wands because it just tells us, oh, this can happen fast. Things are happening, and things are happening fast. It's nearly this electric feel, or not nearly, it is an electric feel. that makes things happen very, very fast and very quick. Communication is strong, maybe very open, maybe you're very communicative at this time. It can also be anything that's going on online, on the internet, or on social media. Also communicating your ideas through electronic or virtual ways is also a great idea. Here we have Mercury and Sagittarius, which is a combination that works very well with social media and everything that is happening online. So communicating your ideas in fast ways, in effective ways, in very efficient ways is also a card of the Eight of Wands. And also it's a card of kind of romantic electric feelings. So that could also be the case. That's a little off topic here because this is not so much a romantic reading. It can be, of course, if that's what your main focus is right now. You can always look at those cards from that angle. But for me, it seems more like a creative project that could involve other people, but I don't think it's so much about one specific other person. It's more like you can help other people by really coming from a very deep place of inspiration, and from this deep place of inspiration making things happen. And that can be very, very inspiring to others, I think, right now. So yeah, I want to maybe pull one card for love focus and relationship focus. So this is romantic relationships, just one card as a little, goodie. I'm not doing a specific relationship reading here, but I might be doing one in next couple of days. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna schedule these readings, but I will do these Celtic cross readings and getting into the form and the cards and the meaning of the cards and how I read and how I approach a little more in these next couple of weeks, and I would love for you to join. All right, so one more. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. For romantic energies, this is a little bit of a tough one, I have to say, because Page of Pentacles in the reverse is a card where we do maybe have a little bit of a hard time changing our approach into a long-term type of vision. Maybe we are even waiting for somebody to bring us in this more like long-term, stable, grounded and reliable energy, but it's not coming. Maybe we feel like somebody, it could be another person, it could be a younger person. Normally with the pages we talk about a younger person. It could either us be feeling like we are in a situation where we feel we could feel like a teenager that has a hard time standing in their own value, which would be Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Everything that is people with pentacles in the reverse is often a problem of valuing yourself. It's often a problem of really finding the self-worth, finding your self-value. There's something that we want to think about working on, especially with the page, because the page is really about learning and about evolving and about developing himself or herself into a more established type of personality. He's the youngest of all the court cards, so if he's in the reverse, he's also a little averse to learning. To learning more about his own worth or developing self-worth. And that has also to do with what do I have to show? when it comes to resources. What do I have to show? What do I have to give? What do I have to offer? Yeah, and this could be you, or it could be part of your personality that is right now maybe making a little appearance, or it could be another person. Of course, it could be another person who is having a hard time maybe valuing, even though they kind of want to, but they feel like maybe they don't have the resources, or don't have the patience, or don't have the time, or yeah, it's a tough card, because it feels like a very poor mindset here with the Page of Pentacles, and at the same time also not very much of an openness to actually change. When the page is in upright, pages are in the upright, then we are really open for change. We're wanting change. We're inviting change. We're trying to also learn about change and about building up our resources, our value. So yeah, we want to think about that, and we want to think about also if this is a person coming our way, and not speaking so much about ourselves, but about another person. We want to ask ourselves, how do we react to that? Why do we attract that? Do we want to continue interacting with that type of energy? So all that good stuff. Pages in general are earth signs, just to finish this topic, and it is of course Taurus, Capricorn and Virgo, so that would be talking about the earth signs as well. So yeah, that was our little impulse for the romantic relationships, and this is the end of this live. I will continue doing these lives in different forms, trying to, just give you more information, insight and knowledge, and a little education about how I read the cards, how to approach the cards, how to read the cards, and we're gonna just do different readings, different types of angles and perspectives, and we're going to talk about the cards in detail, and I hope you join me. And at the same time, of course, you can use those readings as just regular readings if they resonate with you. So these are, of course, also readings that you can just watch for inspiration, watch for guidance, watch for a little impulse for your day. I am not a card reader who is necessarily talking so much about very specific predictions. I don't believe in taking on that authority for myself. I think people should have their own their boundaries there, and I want to have my boundaries, and I'm not in a position that I want to tell people what to do, where to go, and what's going to happen. But I can create a picture, and I can help you maybe understand the situation better or see it differently, and assist you in finding your own way. So that is my goal here. All right, so yeah, follow me over also The Art of Tarot on YouTube, where you can find these videos, these readings. You can really rewatch this. You can again maybe look at the symbolism of the cards a little closer, because there is just a different perspective, so you can see the cards better. And yeah, maybe you can take notes and rewatch from the things that you haven't maybe noticed or want to memorize. Yeah, so this is The Art of Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. I'm also, for the people who are still sticking with me, an artist and a musician. I am a singer mostly, and also I do exhibitions and stuff. But this tarot practice I do for a really long time, and it's just a big part of my life for such a long time, so I cannot quit. And now I'm at a point where I feel like I should really give away this knowledge that I've accumulated over the years, and I hope that people can use it. So yeah, thanks for being with me, and I hope I see you very, very soon.